Hey everyone, welcome back to the Accountants Law Lab, your trusted source for practical law firm bookkeeping and today legal tech advice. So, if you're a law firm owner, an attorney, or a legal bookkeeper who's trying to help their client choose between Clio, the Clio software, Clio Manage, and LeanLaw, and it's 2026 and you're there to help them, you're not alone. Both are excellent legal billing and practice management tools, but they solve very different problems. Today, we're going to go with a head-to-head comparison and we're going to discuss the strengths of each, the shortfalls of each, and the current pricing, and exactly which one makes more sense for law firms, especially when it comes to trust accounting and QuickBooks integration. So don't forget to stick around to the end and hear my final verdict and a cost-saving tip that could save your firm thousands of dollars. So if you're comparing Clio versus LeanLaw right now, hit that like button and let's get started. So I'm going to start with Clio. It's the grandpa software, the big player in the game, Clio Manage. It's very popular. It's an all-in-one kind of a legal management platform tool. It handles matter management, client intake, there's documents, calendaring, client portals. So you have a way to even to communicate with your client in there, and of course, billing. LeanLaw takes a different approach. So LeanLaw is considered a lean and powerful billing tool and a trust accounting tool built directly on top of QuickBooks Online. It turns QuickBooks into a compliant legal accounting system with real-time two-way syncing. One focuses on being the complete legal operating system. The other focuses on making your bookkeeping and trust accounting seamless and compliant. So if you look at the two products, Clio provides a lot of other pieces. It's baked in all in one, where LeanLaw does not. It's more focused on the billing and a lot on the analysis of the client space, a lot of heavy duty reporting. But with LeanLaw, you create your own ecosphere of where you're going to keep your documents. Maybe you use NetDocs. Maybe you want to use the Microsoft suite of products and you've already got everything all housed in there. You can just leave it there and have the system you use already work for you. And then this is just a layer on top of a QuickBooks Online. So let's start with Clio Manage and we'll talk about the strengths and the shortfalls. So let's start with Clio's strengths. Clio shines as a true all-in-one practice management tool. You get robust matter management, contact management, client intake, and CRM. And you have to buy into the CRM piece. It's called Clio Grow, but it's also a very nice system for you to be able to track that kind of stuff. Document automation, a secure client portal, e-signatures, and there's some reporting in there as well. Attorneys love the modern interface and the AI features. They do have an AI that they purchased for $1 billion. So it's a very closed system of all the cases and matters over time with the actual data. So you're not fishing around into the wide world of ChatGPT where you don't know if the data is real. Clio has purchased this system where they can pull from real data from real cases. So it's going to save you a lot of time if you pay for that extra piece. It's going to save you a lot of time to use that AI part of their platform. So in the AI space, I think they're invested in it for the future. And because it's such a big platform, they are definitely looking towards having that secure way to do it. And if you're or like we are when it comes to AI, we're very careful about how we do that because we don't want to have our clients' data out in the internet, right? We have to make sure we protect our client data. And Clio has formulated a system that's going to work really beautifully with that. And it does save a lot of time. We've seen some demos of the side that the attorneys work in, not so much our accounting side. And it's amazing. It's amazing what they're building. And I think it's going to just get better and better in the future. It also has hundreds of integrations that are highly customizable. So because they've been around a long time, they've got a lot of integrations already that exist that you can add on to Clio to get the pieces you need, especially maybe more towards your particular practice area. Clio has some shortfalls, though, too. Clio and QuickBooks integration is a one way for the most part. It's not completely all one way, but sometimes there's delays. As I mentioned last week, there's duplicates that can happen, and sometimes it's just some manual reclassification that you have to do as the bookkeeper. The full platform can sometimes feel very overwhelming. There's a lot of pieces in there, And sometimes it's overwhelming for smaller teams focused mainly on just billing. So they pick up Clio, they want to do just the billing and they don't use all the other pieces. And then sometimes that can feel heavy when you start to work into the program and find out you have to fix a lot of things along the way. And sometimes firms end up paying for the extra price because it's not inexpensive. They're paying for the practice management tools and they barely touch them. So try not to be that firm. We actually are trying to do the same with our accounting firm. We picked up Carbon for our firm, and we want to ensure that we're using the practice management tool to its fullest capability. It's not a cheap date, what we're using in our firm. And same goes with Clio. If you're going to pay for Clio and pay for all the buttons and bells and whistles that come with it, you should really make sure that you use it. On the other side, we're going to talk about LeanLaw now and the strengths and shortfalls there. So LeanLaw's biggest strength is its two-way sync with QuickBooks Online. It eliminates the sync headaches. It eliminates the fixing. You can connect it perfectly with ease. You make a change in LeanLaw, the change appears in QuickBooks. You make the change in QuickBooks, the change appears in LeanLaw. It's talking to each other. It's not this one-sided push of data. And it doesn't make you have to do manual journal entries or zero out journal entries because it's throwing duplicate data. It doesn't do that. Something that can be frustrating with Clio. It creates the subledgers, so you don't have to create the visualization of the subledgers. And a lot of the states' bar rules are now making clients create that view as part of the compliance. LeanLaw does this for you, which makes it so much easier. As soon as you create a client in LeanLaw, it makes you make the matter, and then it pushes the client in the matter over as a customer and the matter as a sub-customer. But then it also creates, if it's a trust account, it will create the trust liability account for you. It's all with the very few clicks. So that's the beauty of it, less work. And trust accounting is really where LeanLaw stands out for legal bookkeepers. It's very straightforward, very easy to see. It gives you a running list. There's automated client subledgers. There's built-in safeguards against overdrafts and commingling. Bulk processing is handled with ease because you can push any, your client pays themselves with the trust account and they pay 50 different bills, 50 different clients. It'll push all those payments into the undeposited fund account and you can group them and the client makes just one transfer over. You're not making individual transfers. Not that you have to do that in Clio, but it's not as smooth and straightforward when you do it in Clio. You have to push that data down into the subledgers manually, and then you have to handle matching those payments to deposits inside of QuickBooks. So it's a little bit more work there. And many firms really report a cleaner books when they do this, fewer compliance worries when they use LeanLaw. Also, it's easier to do the three-way bank reconciliations. That's the other big piece. Although with LeanLaw, you have to make sure that on the first of the month or the end of the month, once the end of the day is closed, you pull the report down because you can't backdate the report. And that's one of the pain points in LeanLaw that I've found myself frustrated with because if you forget to do that, then you got to be reconciling the three-way on a different date because you didn't take the time to push that data out. And that's one of my little shortfalls of LeanLaw. But LeanLaw is very simple to use. It's faster for the attorneys to use. You can set it up so the attorneys only see the matters that they deal with, and that's it. They don't see the whole law firm. All of the partners can see all of the law firm, but you can lock down the system and they could create this little preserved area just for each attorney. Clio, same thing. You can still do that with Clio as well. But the biggest drawback, I think, with LeanLaw is the fact that it is not a full practice management system. That's not what you're buying. So you have to know that up front. It has limited client portals and document automations and CRM features. They're just not there. That's not what the product is for. You'll have to pick up a different product. You'll need QuickBooks Online or most likely the Advanced because of the way they push the data in. That's recommended. And I like that you can, in LeanLaw, you can actually set up a lot of the class levels and you can use a lot of the features of custom fields. With QuickBooks and LeanLaw, you can use some in Clio, but it's not as robust as well. You can use classes in Clio and separate the classes in Clio so that they mirror through and push through into QuickBooks the way you want to see it. You can add other tools, though, to LeanLaw to make it heavy case management if you want. There's other tools that you can pick up that will integrate with LeanLaw. And LeanLaw will, you can go to them. They're not so gigantic like a Clio where you're not going to get somebody on the phone. You can go to them if you want to have them build you out something to work with something that you really want to work with. They can build a tool for it, or they have a very open API. They're open to working with other software, especially if it's something that other attorneys use. You might pay to help bring that over, but it's worth it if it saves you time. And as always with automation, you are saving money and getting your accuracy down pat. Let's talk about the pricing. So as of 2026, we'll talk some money here because pricing often indicates the winner, right? So with Clio Manage, they have different levels. Most of the people that we work with, I think, are on essentials or advanced. So there's an easy start. I don't think we have one client on easy start. That's $49 a month. I don't think it gives you very much. Essentials is 89, Advanced is 119, and Complete is 149. You'd have to go on their website, and we'll put a link in the blog so you can find that. That'll explain exactly which one is which. And like I said, if you want to have Clio Grow, that's extra cost per user. You also don't get a user as a bookkeeper. You have to have your clients to pay for your user. So that's another factor that they will have to think about in cost, where LeanLaw gives you that same view like we have with the QuickBooks accountant version. We see, which is not going to be called Enterprise Suite Accountant or something, but we see our main page we log into and we can see all our clients. LeanLaw gives you that. With Clio, you have to have your client invite you and you have to create an alias email for the client because you can't have more than one user with the same email. So if you have 5 clients, you're going to need 5 different email names to log into 5 different Clio accounts. So know that also. We make aliases. So if it's Smith and Jones Law, it would be Smith and Jones Law at thepropertrust.com. That's how we do it. But it's an extra pain in the next step. And then you have to have that discussion with the client that you want to have your own user because you want to be able to have that audit log and you don't need to be going trying to get them to send you a code that slows you up. It's just not worth it. So for LeanLaw, they have multiple levels as well. You can go with Core, $40 to $55 a month. I don't have many people in Core because everybody wants all the features. It's the Pro version. The Pro version's between $55 and $60 a month. And then if you are really big, you can get a custom price from them. A big plus for bookkeepers is LeanLaw offers that free seat. So it's cheaper in the long run. The client doesn't have to pay for that seat, which I think is really important. We've tried to fight to get Clio to give us a seat and they just won't do it. So it's important for us to be able to see because we work in the product, right? We're helping the billing and all of that. And I love the way LeanLaw has the separate billing. As you can see, I'm very familiar with LeanLaw and I don't do a lot of work in Clio, even though we've got the majority of our clients in Clio and my staff uses it. So that's partly, I'm a little swayed more towards the LeanLaw side because I really do love the product. But I do also love Clio because it is a great product. So which product is correct for your firm? Here we go, drum roll. We're coming up to the end here. We're going to go to, I guess I could never be a drummer. Okay, so the end here, we're going to give you the verdict. So if you are a law firm or attorney who wants that all-in-one system, that practice management tool that's going to you keep everything housed in, you're looking for security, you want security around the client communication, you want everything pushed inside, you want to use that closed-loop AI system, Clio Manage is going to be your product. It's great for mid-sized firms. Small firms use it as well. Check with your bar. Sometimes the bar gives you 10% off too. That's another thing. But if you're looking for a place for client communication, documents, and growth features, maybe you want to add Clio Grow in the future, Clio Manage would be the product for you. If you're looking for a billing platform, and I can tell you, Clio's reporting is not that great. We have to pay an outside firm to create reports for us a lot of times because it's just not there. They've gotten a little bit better, but it's not great. So know that as well on Clio's side. On LeanLaw, you're going to get way more reporting. So if QuickBooks is your accounting backbone and you're looking for trust compliance, it's critical. You're looking for billing, you've got leads billing or things like that. Both programs do leads billing. LeanLaw is very simple. And you're looking for a cost-effective billing experience with a real-time sync. It's really one of the best things ever to have that real-time sync. I would say use LeanLaw. LeanLaw is a great product for that. You got your billing, you get your trust, you get your leads, you got all the reports you would ever need. You get the flexibility to do classes and custom fields, and the world is your oyster there. It really depends on your firm's needs. So my final thoughts on this is that both Clio and LeanLaw are excellent legal software options in 2026. There isn't really a universal winner here. It's what's best for your law firm. And as a legal bookkeeper, if you're helping a client out, I could see LeanLaw solving a lot of the day-to-day pain points around trust accounting and QuickBooks. And Clio excels where firms need the scalability and they need all the client tools and they need all the pieces baked in. So have you used Clio or LeanLaw? I know a lot of people have used Clio and they've not really looked into LeanLaw. And I'm curious as to which ones you prefer and why, or maybe if you want to drop your experience in the comments, I'd love to read them. I read every single one. I like to hear what you have to say about it. So if you're struggling to choose or you need help setting up the platform compliantly, comment help or book a quick call with the proper trust if you need that kind of help. Or if you want to join our accountant's law lab, we'd love to help you and we can brainstorm and help you through a migration or anything like that. Migrations are always fun. So like this video if I helped your decision, subscribe for more. We'd love to have you on an ongoing basis. We do these videos every week. Learn more about law firm bookkeeping, Clio, QuickBooks workarounds, and legal tech guides. We're the all-in-one spot to find all of that stuff. So hit the bell notification. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, stay compliant, stay efficient, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.